Okay, sorry folks, we had a little technical difficulties, but we are back to finish up our episode. So this is going to be episode 3, part 2, just to finish up what we were talking about. Um, and by the way, before I forget, I did find that guy. His name is Mike Mahar, if I'm
Yep, that's him. Yep.
he has F3, the letter F, the number 3 dash Pensacola. It's a men's workout group, and the F3 stands for Faith, Fellowship, and Fitness. So anybody local that would like to join along with the Fathers Matter group, I'll have all the links down below this YouTube channel. So here we are back. Is there anything that kind of you want to touch up on, or kind of really make a point about, or to finish this out?
Yeah, there's so much. I guess my biggest thing would be through all of this, I'm not, I want to help everyone I can. Again, doing this is helping myself, but hopefully that, even throughout this podcast, I've had admitted and, talked about things that I know that I could do better at, things that affect me, um, just being a father, things that, tend to come harder than other things dealing with my kids, like even the phone call situation. It's not a big deal and it's something that seems so easy, but those are just, that has become a challenge through what I've endured through fighting for kids, fighting, with another spouse that's not easily to work with, or so on and so forth.
Right.
Everybody has a challenge. Everyone has something, and it's hard to really to change that without openly expressing it and talking about it, because you can't identify a problem if you don't have that insight on knowing what the problem is. And if you're the only person talking to yourself, you don't know it's a problem, and not talking is a problem. So hopefully, my main thing is that I'm coming out openly and I'm putting, my stories and the things that I battle with, and, my life out, and hopefully to encourage other people to do it before it is too late, before you hit the bottom of the bottle, before you hit the face of a barrel, before enough is just enough. Um, there's a lot more to life, and life is very beautiful and it is precious, and we all deserve to feel that joy and that happiness and experience that, and keep it. It's enough that we deal with, and hopefully we can all come together enough and source out and really make a difference and change it, so that way it doesn't have to be so hard. And making it easy is like, it's something you think that can't happen, but just it's a choice, it's a step, and it's the hardest choice you will probably ever make, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. And the page is always open. We got support groups. I'm always open, even if I tell everyone, even if you don't want to post nothing, you just want to read. um, if it comes to the point where you feel like you have a problem, man, you can write me directly. And if it's that urgent, I'm always open. It don't matter what it is, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. Now I can't be it for three, four, 500 people, but if it's a dire urgent thing, I want to be there, and I want to show another man that somebody does care and they can relate, and it's worth just getting it off your chest. And that's why we're here.
Exactly. That is bringing awareness, kind of, giving more resources than maybe they even thought was out there. So
Yeah.
always good, most definitely. Like I said, I'll put the link to your Facebook page. I'll find Mike's Facebook page and put a link there as well.
Yeah.
If anybody has any questions or concerns or anything that you would like a topic for us to talk about, we're definitely going to do another podcast on this. Of course, my husband, like I said, is in the Navy, so he'll be gone till May, unfortunately. But
Mr. Wonderful will be back.
when he does come back, it definitely, he can talk from his experience and what he came from and how he got out of it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that he's 100% out of it, but he's right at 90%, and how
Yeah.
it changed his life and the difference that it made from, being in that rut of can't talk, can't, you're the man, go to work, do this, do
Yeah.
that, and that's it. and then changing over to having somebody support him that listens to him and understands that, if he comes in and not feeling too good, it's not that he's not caring about me or not wanting to do anything with me or anything around the house. He just, man, he's had a rough day. It's
Yeah.
time for him to get a break. So,
Yeah. And I mean, and one thing is to understand is not setting an expectation too high. I don't think I ever expect to be 100%. And I don't think that'll ever happen.
I
And,
don't think
I'm okay with that. But if I can get close to that, that's a blessing. That's what we're trying to get for. And once you've dealt with things for so long, you can learn to see the light on the other side. But it's always going to be there. It's what makes you who you are, your experiences in life. So you'll never be 100%, but that's okay. Like that's part of it. That's okay.
but
Just always focusing on that light.
right. It's taking that initiative and that one step forward, that taking it one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time, and just really focusing on yourself. Um,
Yep.
I remember an old saying my dad used to tell me years and years ago when I was little, and I said years and years ago. Um, he always said if you stick one foot in yesterday and one in tomorrow, you're going to piss all over today. Just focus
Yep.
on the day. Focus on
Yep.
what's going on today. Get through today. And then tomorrow, do it again. Focus on that day. Focus on just one paragraph in your day. When you wake up, focus on just waking up. Don't focus
Yep.
on the rest of the day. Just focus on. And then after you get up and you get to moving around the house, focus on just making that cup of coffee or getting that cup of orange
Yep.
juice, or washing your face or brushing your teeth or pissing, whatever you do the
Yeah.
first thing after you wake up. But focus on that. And then
Yeah.
the next step, baby steps. That's all it takes.
Yep. Find a small routine, no matter what it is. A lot of this is positive influence, and if you don't exercise, maybe get up a little early in the morning, do a couple push-ups, just be a little active. Start your day with water versus coffee. Drink water, then get your coffee. Just try to mix it up, and that's why I came up with that exercise earlier this week. It was trying to find a value to appreciate yourself, and then motive of one thing that you don't like in whatever your situation is, so you have something to work on and just kind of keep you focused. Like, okay, um, I think I told everybody, write 5 things down that you appreciate about yourself. Write 5 things down that, say if you're battling with parenting because of your experience in a relationship and you're trying to connect to your kid, write 5 ways you connect to your kid on a good level, and then write one thing that negative you do negative, well, not negative, but one thing that you can be better at, you can do better at, or you can try more of, and take it for a week and remember those 5 things that you do right, and just work on that one thing. And while you're working through that one thing, just remind yourself, like, I'm great at 5 things. This one thing ain't nothing. I know I can change this. And it could be as simple as, like, social media is a big thing right now, so a lot of people, they pick their phones up, and their kids may come harass them while they're scrolling or this or that, and you may not think it's a big deal because you're just finding your entertainment and that's kind of your peace, but your kids are trying to get your attention. um, we had a kid in the group that talk about that. He found himself doing that. And it's like, that if that's your one thing, make it where you're not on your phone like that when you come home or on your game until the kids are in bed. And just
Right.
5 things to appreciate and one thing to change. That way you have something to work on, and you're bettering yourself, but you're also finding that value in yourself while you're doing it, and knowing that you are good, but there's always things to work on.
And right. And the stuff about it, like you were saying about the routine and stuff. So a lot of people, oh well, I've got this certain routine I do every day and I don't want to break that. Well, obviously that routine's not working for you.
Nope.
Obviously that routine is not helping you or getting you to where you need to be. Change up your
Yep.
routine, step out of the box, and
Yep.
like I said, step by step, take baby
Yep.
steps. You don't have to
Yep.
lunge in, head first. Baby
Yep.
steps. That's all it takes.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like, and it's one thing, I've came to it. Oh man. So I'll tell you this. This is where I knew the difference of between an excuse and a reason. Um, I've never really been a religious person. I've had bad experiences when I was a kid. My dad. I've had people around me that's been negatively impacted by a church. That's another conversation. Um, my son Nolan, he's really big into church now. He goes every week with his mom and his stepfather, and he just did the courses to get baptized last year. This was actually like 6 months ago, I think. And so he comes to the time where he goes to get baptized. Excuse me. He goes to get baptized. So I leave work and I go up there and I want to support him and watch him. And I video recorded the whole thing. And there's a video on their Facebook group of it. I think I got it on my phone too. But anyways, he gets baptized, and when he comes out, he comes up to me. I give him a hug. Nolan, I'm proud of you. I love you. And this is the first time I've been in the church in 15, 16, 17 years. And he looks at me and goes, Dad, you should get baptized. And my first instinct in my head was like, no, man, I'm in work clothes. I don't have time for this shit. I'm not getting baptized. Like they don't really matter, whatever. And a minute went by. I was drying him off and getting him his clothes, and he looked at me and goes, Dad, I really think you should get baptized. I think it would help you, or it'd make you feel better. And I started thinking about it, and it kind of dawned on me, like, damn, my son wants me to do it. He thinks it's going to be helpful. And I caught myself in that moment trying to make an excuse, not intentionally, but just by habit, I guess. And I agreed. I was like, man, okay, I'll do it for you. If that's what you want me to do, I'm going to do it for you. And I went back, I got a t-shirt, and as I was changing out, I don't know what happened to me, but it was like the world of emotions, and everything that I've ever experienced hit me at once. Like, I broke down in the stall, started crying. Like, I had people like worried, like asking if I was okay. I just couldn't breathe. I couldn't talk. Like, I was overwhelmed with emotions. And um, so I finally walked out and on stage in front of a few hundred people. I got in the water, and he was like, man, it looks like you're overwhelmed. And he asked me what my testimony was. I was so overbeared with everything that I felt and what was going on that I didn't even know what he was asking me. I didn't know what a testimony was. Like, I lost all focus on anything around me and was just engulfed into what I felt. And I got baptized. And that was like a very big positive thing. But at that moment in my life, I really understood the difference between an excuse and a reason. So now when I look at things, I look at it and try to find a reason. Like, okay, I need to do this, versus saying like, oh, well, it's like, okay, this is a good reason why I should do this. When I get up in the morning, I should do 20, 30, 40 push-ups, because my physical health is important. I should start my day off with water because my metabolism is important. I should put my phone down, spend more times with my kids because it is important. So I always find a reason. I try to. I mean, it's not a win every day, but I win most of them when I look at it for a reason versus an excuse.
Right. Baby steps. That's all it is. Baby steps.
Yep.
I saw a quote. I'll have to look for it and I'll send it to you. It was something about, instead of waking up in the morning, man, God, I got to get up. Oh, man, God, I got to go to work. Oh, man, I got to change the negative narrative to a positive. Man, I get
I
to
get.
wake up this morning. Man, I get to go to work this morning. There's a lot of people that don't. Man, I get to breathe. I get to walk.
Yeah.
And so I'll find it. It's a pretty cool little scripture, and I'll
Yeah.
send that to you. It's
Yeah.
posted on the site.
Yeah. I think I've seen that, and that is like a good way to look at it. Find the gratefulness in things. And then, there was another. I don't want to speak his story, but he had a thing about sympathizing with people, and it's like, man, I know it's hard because if you come from a hard background, but if you just find the good in something, go sit with a stranger you've never met before and just empathize with him, ask him his story, how he got there, and just take that and be like, man, I'm blessed because when I leave from here, I'm going home. When I leave from here, I know I'm going to eat a hot meal. And it'll help you understand sympathizing is not
Yeah,
really a bad thing.
it'll
And
humble.
it's not giving,
You.
it'll help you.
Yeah, it'll definitely humble you for sure.
Yeah. And I think a lot of time we don't sympathize for ourselves, and we don't always give ourselves that grace. And, you know, that's my
That's
opinion.
the thing is, it is true in the saying, how can you love anybody if you don't even love yourself? You have to
Yeah.
love yourself. Even if
Yep.
you only love one thing about yourself, stay focused on and love one thing about yourself, because it other things will come into play.
That's
That's
why that's why I really like the 5 and 1 exercise I came up with. Just to kind of overcompensate, find those 5 things you love and find one thing you can correct. You know, and that's kind of where I got that from. It's
kind of
kind of plays hand.
you can't kind of need to type that up and put it in the file section on your
Yeah,
Facebook page, kind of a
yeah,
reference for others to kind of come back to and look at.
yeah. Just a thing to go back and remind themselves, and we will. Like I said, it's when I did this, I was also in the process of moving into the new house, and so I haven't really had a lot of time to really sit down and go through all the X, Y's, and Z's. But
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
it
and
takes
especially not. Yeah, especially not so because it did kind of jump off pretty fast. I didn't expect, for 200 something people to come join instantly in the first day. Like, um,
first day. That right there, that is a true testament of how many men there are that are out there that are seeking for help and just don't know how to get it.
yep,
They saw an opportunity, a window open, and they're taking their first step into, an emotional place. Uh,
yep,
so that's a very good positive testament to that for you starting that. I think I caught your post in the Pensacola page, like right
yeah,
at the beginning of it. And I mean,
yep,
there was members, hey man, can I sign up? Hey man, and how can I
yeah,
get there? They were quick to it, and I was so glad to see that, because that shows that there's an abundance of people that really and truly need this. And
yeah,
something like we said earlier, you said earlier in the first part of this was, even if it only helps one person,
yeah,
that's huge. That's our goal with even our website, is just helping one person,
yep.
make it through a day. That's
Yep.
all.
And there's been a few people that came in and they expressed to me like I've been really thinking about doing something like this. So I've been really wanting to do something like this, and it's like it's crazy because when you look at it, it's like that's self-explanatory.
Yep.
You were trying to do this and reach out for help, but for being a man and dealing with what we deal with, something stopped you. You weren't able to do that, and it is a hard wall to break. And like I am so blessed that through my fiance that I was able to find that strength and that desire to take that step openly, not only to help myself, to help my relationship, help being a parent, help with my battles. Like I took that step. That is a huge thing, and I don't discredit anybody for not making this, because I know it's a hard thing to do. I know it's a hard thing to do it for yourself, and let alone to try to do it for another person. um, I just found it that through doing it with everybody, I'm going to be able to do it easier for myself.
Support. The old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes
Yeah.
a village to survive. I mean, it
Yep.
really does. A support community for anything. I mean, it really takes that.
Yep.
Somebody that sits in their house recluse and doesn't, have any kind of support or anything. Those are the ones that statistically you see on the list of goners. That's
Yep.
the ones that doesn't handle things too well. I'm not a huge social butterfly outside the home unless I'm with my husband. My husband's more of a social butterfly than I am. Um,
Yeah.
but I was bound and determined, just from my past demons and my past relationships and things that I've experienced growing up. That's why we started our website. And
Yep.
that's why I wanted to hone in on this, because it's been a huge part of my life, my whole life, because of what my father went through with my mother. Um, and it just, I want awareness brought and support at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And
Because
that's that's the
your fiance on here too.
what's
Kind
that?
of, we'll have to get your fiance on here sometime too, and kind of
Yeah. I was.
her perspective of things and what she dealt with on her side, and kind of see her side of it as to
Um, she fully supports me 100% with what I'm doing. She thinks it is great. Like I said, we were having problems the other week. We were going through it, and from the beginning of this, she has been 100% supportive, and she really has. And she's supporting me on this, and I think she would be willing to do that, to try to, just to give her a different point of view, and just to understand, let people understand that people are affected by it differently, and your spouse takes a big hard hit on it, as much as we don't understand that. And it's not that we do it intentionally, but that's the big truth of it. Dealing with all of the stuff that we carry, we do affect our spouse. We do, in a major way, when we shut out and we're abandoning our partner. We're not supposed to do that. And it also affects our kids. And it's not saying that we're bad dads or anything. It's not. It's just that we've been beaten so much by different angles, by so many different things, and you come blindsided to it at points. And you want to do good. Your heart's screaming for you to love your woman, everything, and you want it so bad, and you feel like you're doing it right. But the troubles get so heavy sometimes you don't understand that some things are you could do better at. And I would love to have her come on. I think she would too.
Okay. Well, we'll get together on that for sure. Because I
Yeah.
definitely want to touch base on this again. And, we'll let some people kind of reach out and see if there's any topics or anything that they would like for us to research and discuss, or even,
Yeah.
even them join in. We'll get some more people on here and kind of different perspectives from different backgrounds as to, kind of where they came from and what they're having to deal with as well. Because it's not all from messed up childhoods. It's not all from, um, bad relationships.
Nope.
Sometimes just mental health.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. And I mean, and it's so, just because you get it wrong once, twice, three times, or four times doesn't mean that you're necessarily a bad person. Now, that's saying with limitations, because there are certain things that you can do in life that you don't come back from. But, you know, in the outside, just because you mess up on some small things here and there doesn't make you a bad person, doesn't make you a bad partner, doesn't make you a bad parent. And some people do come from where they have no knowledge of good over bad. They have no knowledge of love or respect, or what you should be or shouldn't be as a man. And they're just completely, utterly unguided, unnavigated, and so in reality, you're expected to get a lot of things wrong, but it doesn't mean you're bad. What makes it easier and better is when you acknowledge that you know you have got it wrong, which necessarily may not be your fault, but take those steps to make it right so you can live better, so you can live easier.
acknowledgement. Correct.
Yep.
That's the word for it right there. Acknowledge. So,
Yep.
most definitely. Well, we will wrap this up. Definitely thank you for coming on. Thank you for your insight on things. And we're definitely going to do this again. So I will
Yeah.
be in with you, and we'll try to see if we can squeeze her in too and get her perspective. And so, of course, I know she's about ready to blow. So we'll might kind of work around that. Um,
Yeah, she is. I mean, we'll see how she's feeling about it. We try to keep her the least amount of stressful, but I feel like just talking about things openly, because that was a battle we struggled with, was openly talking about problems, because that's my doing. I have to take responsibility for that. Which she has niches too. We all are not perfect, but I feel like openly discussing that, and the way I'm trying to do it, would not only lift a little bit off of her a little bit more, but
well, as
um,
a spouse too, you can't fully blame yourself, and all
no, no,
men themselves. It has
no,
to be full acknowledgement from the woman's point of view. She has to acknowledge that you are speaking. She has to
yeah,
acknowledge that you're talking. She has to
yeah,
acknowledge that there is a problem that you're wanting to talk to her about. And it's not just about, oh, hey, Fred down the street dumped his tractor over on Highway 70. It's,
yeah,
hey, I'm really struggling today. Can we
yeah,
kind of talk through this? And that
mhm,
patience key in a relationship. And that's
yeah,
a relationship. That's a relationship with your spouse, your child, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, any family member, any friends. Communication's key. So
yeah.
I'm definitely glad that you have opened up the communication lines for men and fathers. You know, even if they're not fathers, I want them to know that they can jump in on your Facebook, and
Yeah.
it's strictly it's mental health of all men.
Yeah.
But the main focus that you have right now is, of course, the fathers matter. But
Yeah.
you know, I don't want men to get discouraged and think, oh well, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not a dad. Hey,
No.
my husband's not a dad. I'm not a mom, but I've
Yeah.
raised many a kids, and my husband, you know,
Yeah.
he's been through the mental aspects of relationship part of
Yeah.
how it takes a toll on you. So
Yeah. I mean, like, yep, you are right. I mean, we are open to like all men. We do want to support that. The main high key, locally, yeah, it is the fathers matter because that's where a lot of my trauma came from, and that's, I feel like is the most under thing. Well, I can't say most because men's mental health and the father struggle is a very very close run, but not ultimately, even if you're not local, that's perfectly fine. You can most definitely join the group, talk and speak out and connect. Just because you can't come to a father's meet on a weekend, or just because you can't come on the field events or whatever, it's not a big deal. The big deal is you just tapping in, getting a part of it. um, you don't even have to talk in the beginning. If you just want to read and just try to connect or find someone that you feel like you can connect to on something you struggle with, tap in with them, write them. Everyone that joined this group is open to listen, and that's a big thing. Um, Within reason, there's a few people that are may not be ready to talk, but the ones that do write and post and respond to people and stuff, you can relate to them 100% for sure. They are going to respond to you. They're going to talk to you, and you can relate with them a little bit more private if you want to. We're open to all.
well, I'm also kind of hoping to, with ours being a military channel, I'm kind of hoping it reaches a broader spectrum in the military community too, because a lot of people get stationed here, and
Yeah.
so when you're first PCS somewhere, you don't have any connections to that town.
No.
You don't know anybody. You don't know any kind of support, and a lot of them come here without family. So hopefully this will pick up off the ground.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean we're definitely going to get together and advocate for fathers and try to figure out what's going on with our system and why they're
Yeah.
why it's shit, because that's exactly what it is when it comes to fathers and their kids. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. And
shit.
it ain't good shit neither.
Well, I appreciate it very much. I will have all this situated and send you a link.
Also,
If anybody likes this channel and would like to, come back, hit the subscribe button, hit our like button on Facebook, go to Family Matters, Fathers Matter, sorry. Don't even, I'm getting to the point where it's dark
the
outside.
family does too.
You can see
It's
them. Fathers Matters. I would say if you're a female, you probably won't get invited into the group. This is strictly for fathers
yeah.
that can express their feelings without judgment. And I'm not
Nope.
saying all women out there are going to judge, but
Yeah.
you're going to get backlash. Oh, Tommy, you're full of
Yeah.
that ain't the way that ain't what that group's for. So
Nope.
just to let you know, if y'all want a Mothers Matters, I mean we'll figure out something on that. But
Yeah. Yeah, no. The only women that does have any interaction with the group is obviously you because of the real raw resilience, and it's also you and your husband.
yeah,
And I do think it is, I do think it's a positive and beneficial thing to at least have one woman's understanding of everything because of what you support. What you're supporting is exactly what I'm doing. So you taking that step is you're taking it with a point of view from a man's perspective, and that I think that right there is a very beneficial thing. And it is hard to open up like that, but what you do and you support, I think it's a great thing. So you obviously would be the only real technical female that would be inside the group, but that's corresponding with real raw resilience. So,
Right.
and that's also with your husband. So we got a duo package. We get to hear, the other side of the effects as well. So I think that's beneficial for everybody.
From a non-biased somebody also that's been through it,
Yeah,
that was raised by the father, that has a husband that went through everything that most of y'all are going through, and he kind of, like I said, he's not 100% out of it,
yeah,
but he's so much more closer now than he was a year ago. um,
yeah.
and it just things that I've done with him communication wise that's really made a difference. And I'm here. Um, our lines are always open. Like I said, my husband will be back in May, and we'll definitely bring him in, and I'll have a powwow, and kind of he can go in more depth of
Yeah, we can do like a duo. I can get Kathy in with it, and
be
just
great.
kind of have woman to woman relate, or from the other side on the other perspective.
Yeah, and kind of, sometimes you want to hear what the woman hears and sees,
Yeah,
but in this, we're just not wanting women slandering, women trying to put somebody down. That's just kind of, we're wanting to better men and better fathers.
yeah.
So
Not saying women are not important. It's just that someone's got to take a step to show that men's
that,
health and father.
yeah, that's not the
Yeah,
awareness we're trying to raise on this particular, you know.
yeah.
So, but thank you so much. And again, I will get it right, G instead of G. Don't ask me
It's
why.
okay. My whole life it's been a struggle.
Well, my name's Tanika. I mean, it can't get no worse than that. You can only imagine what I've been called.
Yeah.
So, but thank you so much, and we will definitely stay in touch. I hope your fiance gets to feeling better and the baby gets here soon, and
Yep.
we'll stay in
Thank
touch
you.
for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great night.
You're welcome. Thank you. You have a good night too.
Bye.